What is going on, hunters? Mr. Murphy here, and welcome to Monster Hunter World. So, in this video I wanted to talk about Behemoth, the upcoming battle we're going to have with that monstrous mountain of a monster. So, yeah, it drops on the 2nd of August, so it's really not that far away, and I just wanted to talk about a build that I want to make for him. But before I get into the build, just talk about the mechanics that are going to be involved with the Behemoth. See, Behemoth is going to be completely different from what we're used to, because we're actually going to get MMO level mechanics, and as such it's going to be an idea to take a party of 4 and have a tank, a healer and 2 DPS. So that's quite interesting. So this build is based on a tank role, and it kind of incorporates a different approach that will actually fit in well with that Holy Trinity set of tank, healer, DPS, blah blah blah. So for those that don't know, as a tank fighting Behemoth, you're going to have to generate aggro. Now aggro is basically the same as threat, or enmity as it's called in this, and it makes the boss focus. Whatever you're fighting, it makes it focus on you and you alone. Obviously he will still do certain attacks that he might spin around and quickly throw out a little bit of lightning or fire somewhere, or drop a meteorite on someone, but as tank you're going to be taking all the majority of the hits. So this build is designed around that fact. So if we take a look at it quickly, equipment, I've gone with a 3-piece Valhazak set, and the reason being is because I wanted super recovery, because that will be super helpful when I'm guarding and my health's just ticking up and I'm not able to get those hits off. We've got the Basil Goose and Male Beta, and the reason for this is because it's got guard 2 on it, but I'll go more into detail with the skills in a little while. Dante's leather boots, and I've upgraded and augmented these to death. So basically they're the highest defense possible, which is lovely, and we're going to need it against Behemoth, so we're told anyway. So next, weapon wise, I went through for the Empress Lance Ruin, which is the Nergay version, that's a great way of saying it, the Nergi version of the Lunastra Lance, and basically this comes with haste and recovery, so you're going to start healing on when you're attacking, getting little portions of health back, but I've also augmented it with health regen, which stacks, so I get even more health back. Got the Ironside Charm again for guard, but we'll go into skills in a sec. Got the Temporal Mantle for a bit of insurance. Health booster I've put in as more insurance really, but I could swap that out for an affinity booster or something else if the fight's not too bad and the defense and the blocking and everything works out to my advantage. So let's take a look at the decorations. Now there are a lot of decorations in this, and some of them are quite hard to get. And we'll look at the skills side by side. So the skills I've got are guard 5, which will mean that I'd lose very little stamina when blocking, plus I won't get as flinched by some of the heavy attacks. I've got health boost 3, because it's always better to have a lot of health. Recovery up, so that I can get more healing from items used, and also from the health regen on the weapon. I've got recovery speed to 3, so I get the health back quicker. Weakness exploit 3, because I want to be generating threat by hitting his head, so a little bit more damage does not hurt. And I'm assuming that his head is a weak spot. I'm guessing the horns you might bounce off, but I've got a counter for that anyway. Divine Blessing 3, because if I do get hit, hopefully this will proc and I won't take as much damage. Peak Performance and Dragon Attack came with the items that I had equipped. Tool Specialist I've got in there just as it just makes the tools a little bit easier to use, a bit quicker rotation wise. Mind's Eye Ballistics, Guard Up and Protective Polish. Now if we go to the actual jewels themselves, you can see I've slotted in the sharp jewel. Now the reason protective polish will be good because when you block with any weapon with a shield, you also lose sharpness, and we want to keep as much sharpness as possible. So that's why I've got protective polish in there. I've got the tenderizer jewel in there to maximise weakness exploit, mind's eye, and the ballistics jewel. And this is my insurance policy. If I've got to a point where I've got enmities constantly attacking me, I can't sharpen my weapon, but I still need to be causing aggro. Mind's eye means that I won't keep bouncing off if indeed you do bounce off the horns on his head. I'm not sure, but it's just there for safety purposes. Vitality jewels, obviously self-explanatory. We want as much health as possible. Recovery jewel just finishes up the recovery speed. Maintenance for that tool specialist. Shield jewel 2 I've put in there because I want to block everything possible. Well, I'd like to counter everything possible really, but if there's a heavier attack that normally you can't block through, I want to block it. Obviously this won't work on his most powerful move, Ecliptic Meteor. There is virtually nothing you can do about that apart from hide behind the meteorites that are left beforehand, the smaller ones, which also is a mechanic in Final Fantasy XIV when you fight Behemoth in one of the 24-man raids, I do believe. Medicine jewel just maximises recovery up, and we'll need that because it will just mean that we get more health back from potions if we need to take them, or just the health regen from the weapon. Now I've thrown 3 protection jewels in there. Like I said, Divine Blessing 3 just in case I do get hit and I take reduced damage. The only problem is this set does have a weakness to fire, so if it means that the fire is going to be too much for us, we could swap these out for a fire res jewel, for fire res jewels, just to maximise that. But I don't think it'll be a problem if we're guarding, so that's the reason behind that. So yeah, that is the build that I've come up with. In theory, well, in my head at least, it should work. We won't know for sure unless we get there, but that's one thing I'm going to have to deal with. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to swap out those protection jewels, and I'm going to throw in miasma jewels because I'm going to take this build into Arc-Tempered Valhazak, because I think that's probably the best way to test survivability in the game at the minute. Just for the fact that his attacks do quite a lot of damage anyway, and you've got that constant tick of effluvium going on and on and on. So I think that will probably be the best way to test this. So yeah, without further ado, we'll jump straight into that, and I'll see you in there. So here we are in the Rotten Vale, ready to take on Arc-Tempered Valhazak with this build, just to see how we get on. Come on, drink your potion, there we go. Right, let's go and find him. So, I just want to see how this performs against Val, because obviously you're going to have the effluvium constantly ticking your health down. I also swapped the protection jewels out for the miasma jewels because you can't really do this without them. And yeah, just see what it's going to be like fighting this. Here we go. Try and get as many counters in as possible. You can already see what it's doing to our health. Always get hit with that attack. So this attack's quite a damaging, it can pretty much one-shot you, but because of the shield jewel we can block through it, and this should give us a chance to get a few more hits so we can get our health back. You can see how well that health regen's working. Might also quickly sharpen if I've got time, And the answer is yes, we have. Can we get the mount? Not yet. Let's go for the counter. Yeah, he didn't like that, but you can see that health regen's working really well. Countering as much as possible. Okay, he's going to do that. Keeps knocking us over with his big fat legs. Not that there's much fat on them. Now can we get the mount? Yes, we can. The final combo at the end of the mount as well also regenerates your health, which is quite handy. Me furiously clicking away the buttons. Come on. There we go. We've got the health now. There we go. Only a little bit, but that's enough. That might just be enough to keep us alive. So there we go. Max health. Peak performance is now activated. And Odogaron's decided to be a complete and utter arsehat. Let's say UT5 amongst yourselves. Ah, really? I will have to use some Astera Jerky here. Because Odogaron just has to do that sometimes. You know what he's like. Muscle puppy. Always gets in the way. Not quite as bad as Basil Juice, but enough. Oh, we'll just get some health off you as well then. I think he's gone. He's runned it off. But you can see with the blocking really does lower your sharpness. Which is another reason I've put in the Mind's Eye and Ballistics duel. I don't really want to be hit by this. But I do want some health back. Thank you very much. Ooh, that was painful. Gotta be careful here. Come on, what are you going to do? A tail attack. It's quite... Oh, he's going to do this again, so we're going to move out of the way and get some sneaky hits, build our health back up. He's going to knock us over because he can. There we go, nice big chunk of health there. You can keep this up. You can keep guarding and keep hitting. You should do all right. Oh, yeah, I thought that was going to happen. That miasma tick was absolutely insane then. Again, I didn't really want to use the potion just to see the survivability, but in situations like that, you're going to have to. Okay, so he took us down. We carted the once. It was a good little test. We're going to go back. I'll just keep going until he runs off for the first time, and I think that's enough evidence for the survivability of this. I wasn't playing like, you know, I wasn't using the potions and the temporal mantle and the health boost just because I wanted to test to see how. Right, so then we can block through this. if we need to. There we go. There he goes, he's running off. So yeah, I think that's enough evidence to show that this is quite a good set, and it should be. You're not going to get the miasmatics with Behemoth. He might hit a little bit harder, but if I'm blocking and on point with it, then I think we should be alright. So I will see you back in Astera. Well guys, back in Astera now, and I think that was quite a successful run against Valhazak. I know we carted that once, but that was mainly because the effluvium got us. We're not going to be experiencing the effluvium in the Behemoth fight. Well, I hope not anyway. So yeah, I think the health regen is really good. I actually played on after I cut the video, and I think by the end of the fight, which did take quite a while by the way, it was just shy of 25 minutes, but I think I used 5 potions in the end, which is really good considering I usually take a build in there and I've nearly gone 5 through the whole lot and then had to go and get more. So yeah, I think that worked really well. And yeah, I think for what it's designed for, mechanics wise against Behemoth, this set will do the job. So anyway guys, thanks for watching. Like if you like this video. If you want to see more from me, please think about subscribing. If you are subscribed, hit that notification button so you can see all my latest content as it happens. And leave some comments down below to discuss this set, improvements or any changes you think would be better. It'd be quite interesting to find out your opinion. So anyway guys, thanks again, and I will see you in the next one.